My name is Anna. I'm 27 years old, and I live in a small town. My life looks perfect, but I have a secret. I married without love. It all started 3 years ago. That time I lived with my parents. I worked at a bookstore. It was a quiet job. I loved reading and I liked helping people find good books. But I didn't make much money. My parents worried about me. "Anna," my mother said, "you are almost 25. You should find a good man and get married." "I'm not ready," I said. "But you need someone strong. Someone who can take care of you." "I can take care of myself," I said. My mother didn't agree. Then one day I met Mark. Mark was rich. He worked in the city in a big company. He was 32 years old. He wore a suit every day. He had a nice car and a big house. He came into the bookstore one afternoon. "Hello," he said. "Do you have books about business?" "Yes," I said. "Follow me." I showed him the shelf. He looked at the books, then looked at me. "What's your name?" he asked. "Anna." "I'm Mark. Nice to meet you." He smiled. His teeth were white. His watch was gold. He looked perfect. Too perfect. After that day he came back many times. He didn't buy books. He came to see me. He brought me coffee. He asked about my life. He listened to me. He laughed at my jokes. He made me feel important. After 2 months, he asked me to go to dinner. I said yes. We went to a fancy restaurant. I wore a new dress. He said I looked beautiful. I didn't love him, but I liked the way he looked at me. He started calling me every day. He sent flowers. He gave me small gifts, bracelets, perfumes, chocolates. He never said, "I love you." But one day he said, "You are the kind of woman I need." That scared me. Not the woman I love, but the woman I need. Still I kept seeing him. One evening he took me to his house. It was big and cold, clean and quiet. "This could be your home," he said. I smiled, but my stomach felt tight. Then 1 week later he asked me to marry him. I didn't know what to say. "Think about it," he said. "You'll have everything. Nice house. Good life. No more working in a small shop." I went home. I couldn't sleep. My mother was excited. "Say yes," she said. "You'll be safe. You'll be happy. But what about love?" I thought about Mark's question for 3 days. I walked around the park. I looked at the flowers, the birds, the children playing. I tried to remember what love felt like. I thought maybe I never really knew. I dated boys before. One played guitar. One liked to cook. But nothing lasted. They left. Or I left. No one stayed. Maybe love wasn't real. Maybe safety was better. So I said yes. Mark smiled. "Good choice," he said. He kissed me on the cheek, not on the lips. Smiled too. But I felt cold inside. We had a small wedding. Only family and a few friends. I wore a white dress. Mark wore his best suit. Everyone said we looked beautiful together. But I didn't feel beautiful. I felt like a guest at someone else's wedding. After the ceremony, we moved into his house. It was big, like a hotel. There were 6 rooms and a garden. Everything looked expensive. But nothing felt like home. Mark worked a lot. He left early. He came back late. He brought money. But not love. We had dinner together every night. He asked about my day. But he didn't really listen. He looked at his phone. He talked about business, stocks, meetings, clients. I said, I read a nice book today. He said, that's good. Then he went back to his emails. I was lonely. One day, I found a little cat outside our house. She was thin and dirty. Picked her up. Poor baby, I said. Cleaned her. Fed her. Named her Mimi. Mark didn't like her. She'll ruin the furniture, he said. She needs love, I said. He didn't answer. Mimi followed me everywhere. She slept near my feet. She waited by the door when I went out. She gave me the love I missed. As the days passed, I began to feel different. I stopped wearing makeup. I stopped smiling. I started waking up in the middle of the night. One night, I sat in the kitchen at 3 a.m. I looked at my wedding ring. It was big and shiny, but it felt heavy. I asked myself, is this my life now? Mark was good to me. He never shouted, never hurt me. But he didn't love me. And I didn't love him. We were strangers living in the same house. One Sunday Mark said, let's go to a party. It was a work party. People from his company were there. Everyone wore fancy clothes. They smiled big smiles and talked about money. I stood next to Mark, holding a glass of juice. I didn't know what to say. No one talked to me for long. I was Mark's wife. But nothing more. Then I saw him. He was near the window drinking coffee. He didn't wear a suit like the others. He wore a blue shirt and jeans. He looked relaxed, different. He smiled at me. Hi, he said. You look bored. I laughed. A little. I'm Daniel, he said. I'm the photographer. Anna. I don't usually like these events, he said. Me neither, I said. We stood near the plants and talked. He asked about books. I asked about his photos. I felt something I hadn't felt in a long time, light. Then Mark called me. Anna, come say hello to Mr. Kent. I smiled at Daniel. I have to go. Maybe I'll see you again, he said. I didn't know what he meant. But I hoped it was true. That night, I dreamed of blue shirts and warm eyes. I woke up smiling. But then I remembered I was married. To Mark. The smile disappeared. 1 week later I walked to the market. On the way back I saw someone taking pictures of the old bookstore on Main Street. It was Daniel. Anna, he said. What a surprise. We walked together for a while. We talked about simple things, weather, books, the smell of fresh bread. He made me laugh. He looked at me, really looked at me. Like I mattered. I like talking to you, he said. I didn't know what to say. So I just said, me too. Then he asked, are you happy? I stopped walking. What a small question. But so big. Was I happy? I looked at him. He waited, quiet, patient. No, I said. I'm not. He didn't say, leave him. He didn't say, come with me. He just nodded. Sometimes we choose comfort. But our hearts want more. That night I didn't sleep again. Mark was in bed, already snoring. Mimi was on the chair, curled like a ball. I sat by the window. I felt like a bird in a golden cage. The next morning I looked at myself in the mirror. My face looked tired. My eyes looked empty. Who are you? I whispered. Where did you go? I touched the wedding ring again. It was still heavy. Later that day, I went to the old bookstore where I used to work. I hadn't been there in months. Lisa, my old boss, was behind the counter. She smiled when she saw me. "Anna, it's been so long. I missed this place," I said. She made tea for us. We sat near the window. "Are you happy with your new life?" she asked. I didn't lie. "I'm not sure." She looked at me kindly. "You were always full of stories, dreams. Don't forget who you are." That night, Mark came home with a new necklace. "Here," he said. "It's gold." "It's beautiful," I said. But my voice was flat. "You don't like it." "I like simple things," I said. He didn't understand. He never did. He gave me things. But not time. Not touch. Not love. I missed warm hands. Soft eyes. Real conversation. Days passed. I saw Daniel again. We didn't plan it. We met at the bakery. He bought 2 croissants and gave me one. We sat outside under a tree. "I think I made a mistake," I said. He looked at me gently. "You can always make a new choice." "But I'm married." "Yes," he said. "But are you alive?" That question broke something inside me. I started to cry. He didn't touch me. He just sat there quietly and let me feel. That night I talked to Mark. "I want to leave," I said. He looked up from his laptop. "What?" "I want to leave this house. This life." "Why? You have everything." "No," I said. "I don't have love. I don't have myself." He didn't shout. He didn't beg. He just said, "You're making a mistake." Maybe I was. But it was mine to make. Packed my things slowly. I didn't take much. Some clothes. My favorite book. A small photo of my parents. And Mimi, of course. Mark watched me from the hallway. He didn't say anything. Not stay. Not go. Just silence. I left the house without looking back. The sun was low in the sky. The air was soft. I felt both scared and free. I moved into a small apartment near the park. It had only 2 rooms, but it was full of light. I put flowers on the table. I opened the windows. Played music. For the first time in years, I danced in the kitchen with no one watching. Mimi sat on the windowsill, purring. I got a job at the bookstore again. Lisa welcomed me with open arms. "Welcome home," she said. And it was. I didn't run to Daniel. I needed time. Time to find myself again. To learn what I liked. What I wanted. What made me laugh. Took walks alone. I wrote in a notebook. I started painting again just for fun. Smiled more. Sometimes I saw Daniel in town. We talked. We laughed. He never asked for more. He waited. 6 months passed. One day, I sat with him on a bench by the lake. "I'm not the same person I was," I said. "I know," he said. "You're more you now." He took my hand. And this time I let him. I didn't marry for love the first time. But now I know love is not about money or houses or safety. Love is about being seen, being heard, being free to be yourself. And now I wait, not for the next perfect moment, but for the next honest one. Because this time I will marry with love.